So, greetings, our beloved viewers. Jane's Hair Care Solutions has come to you once again to bring you content. Today, we are talking about wellness. Wellness is at the core, or it is at the center of my heart. A topic that I love most because it touches on your productivity. How well are you? How prepared are you to face the world and the challenges that it has? Today, do you know what? I have brought you a guest who's gonna talk to us about wellness with specific focus on counseling. Many of the people do not place much value on the need to access counseling services. Why is that? There is a myth that counseling is maybe meant for people that are, not mentally all right, they are insane, or just a different sort of people. But counseling is necessary for you and I. Everybody needs counseling services. Everybody. Because you know what? Every one of us has got a degree of mental disorder. Trust me, it only manifests at some point. So, we are not gonna waste time. We are going to invite our guest who's gonna talk to us matters counseling. We are going to introduce her so that she can talk to us. Welcome, our guest. And guys, remember to subscribe and like and share, because this is important for you. This content is very much important for you. Remember to subscribe and share as you watch. Welcome, our guests.
Thank you, Jane. My name is Jane Karaoke. I'm a counseling psychologist, and I'm happy to be in this session today, talking about wellness, talking about our health, because our mental health is our health, our wealth. And I'm so excited to share with my friend here, Jane, and you, our viewers, today. As she has correctly said and introduced the topic today, help is available. But many times we think about counseling, we are like, that is something that is so far from me. It is something that I cannot afford. It's something I don't even know who it is for. It is something for those people who are mad, those people who are, collecting papers and something like that. But I would like us to demystify that. I would like us to talk about what is it? Who is it for? When can we seek help? And how is it done?
Jane, just kindly introduce yourself and tell us what you do.
Thank you, Jane. I have briefly said that I'm a counseling psychologist. A counseling psychologist is a professional, a trained professional in the health profession, in the mental health profession. And that is what I do. And counseling is about working with this individual. And it is a therapeutic relationship. That is what is counseling about. It is a helping relationship. What does this therapeutic relationship do? It is about working with this person, empowering this person to draw the resources that they have internally to be able to walk through the issues that they have in life. We know that from birth to death, in between, we have a lot of issues and challenges that we pass through. Some may be family related, others individual related as personalities, others are brought about by the experiences of the day-to-day life that we are having. So when we think about some of these things, we realize that sometimes we are not able to sleep, we are not able to perform. If it is somebody going to to school, let's say a student in campus, they are not able to give results that need to be given. This is, for example, probably somebody else working. Your productivity goes down. And this is not what has been happening before. You realize that there's change of behavior. You realize that the way you have been doing your things, you are not doing them the same way. When you realize that, then you know that there is something that needs to be done. And I started by saying, counseling, it is a helping relationship. It is a therapeutic relationship. Why do we go for checkup, for routine checkup in hospitals? We go when we are not feeling well. And how do we know that we are not well? We'll have a pain here, a pain there, or this, something that has not been there and we're having it. The same way with our mental health. You realize that you are not as productive. Sometimes you realize that you don't want to be with people. And this is not your normal way of doing things. So that is the time we are saying, and if it is prolonged, and in some situation where we find that even depression comes in, it is because we look into some of these symptoms, and we are not realizing that this person is moving toward from the normal to going to the other side that is not normal. And that's why I said, in life, we have a spectrum of issues that come in our lives. Our lives are not in a straight line. So you are a parent, you are having issues with children, and you cannot sleep. They're disturbing you. Some are taking drugs. It is an issue of that you're going through. What is it about? We are saying counseling is for everyone who has an issue that they are struggling with in life. It is not for somebody who is mad, because that person, you will not be able to sit with them and listen with them. The other thing that is very, very important in counseling is when you are sitting with the normal person, you are able to go to the root cause of the issue that is disturbing them. They may be behaving this way because of what they are having from their home. For example, a child is taking drugs, for example, not necessarily a small child, adolescents, and even the youth, they're taking drugs. Some of them, it is because of the dysfunctionality in the family. Some of them, it is because they are being bullied in their colleges and wherever they are. Probably something happened. Probably it's a relationship that didn't work. And then you realize that there is change in behavior. So some of these things, so you are able to sit with them and go back to where the issues are coming from. And that's why we say we are psychotherapists. Because we are able to look into their lives and deal with them together with the individual, work with them, empower them, and they're able to deal with their day-to-day issues. When this goes beyond, then this person may need help of doctors. And when the doctors are working together, like the psychiatrists are working together with the therapist, and the results are usually better. So this is to say that we all need help. If you realize that probably you are tossing this side, that side at night, you realize that there's something that disturbs you this week, the other week, you need to seek for help. So it's for all of us. Counseling is for all of us. And I've also said, when do we seek it? It's when we realize that there is something that has changed from the way I've been doing. For example, there's somebody who alikukosea, or somebody did something wrong to you, offended you, and then you realize that when you meet this person, you feel a lot of anger within you, and you even cross the road. If you're walking, you cross the road so that you don't see this person, you don't meet this person. Then you realize that, oh my goodness, there is something that I need to deal with. You can seek help. And some people hear that there is, counseling is for those people with money, those there are people with that can afford. Yes, I know it can be expensive. But I know there's some organizations that offer counseling for free. I also know there's some faith-based organizations, some churches, probably even some mosque, or in your religious outreach, wherever you go, wherever you go to, for divine or for your faith, wherever you go, there is there may be counseling, and it is done by professionals, because we are trained as professionals so that we are able to work with you.
Yes.
Because sometimes we go to other people and some of them advise you, and then they advise you from their own perspective, and then it ends up bringing other issues. I've dealt with what, I've dealt with where, I've dealt with who, I've dealt with I've dealt with when, but now I want to go to where. Where do we seek this counseling? Where do we seek help? First and foremost, when you are going through an issue, let's talk about family conflicts, and they are making you to have sleepless nights. Your appetite has changed. You are either eating too much or eating too little of the food. You are sleeping too much or sleeping, too little. You are withdrawn. You don't want to talk to people. So that you realize that this, you catch yourself and say, Jane, I need help. John, I need help. James, I need help. So and so, I need help. And that is the time we are saying, first, share your issue.
Yes.
We've had a lot of suicidal cases all over the world, not in one place. We've had so many of them. How did they get into that? There are people bottling up,
Yes.
suppressing emotions.
Yes.
They don't want to talk to anyone. And then the people around, we are not observant enough. That is something very important to observe. Is there any change of behavior?
Yes.
Is there any change of how this person has been relating with people? Talk to them. They may be at your workplace. They may be, somebody in the family. Sometimes we fear to talk to people or to ask to observe and point to them that this is happening. I'm observing this, so that they don't get angry. But it depends again on how you deliver it.
Yes.
How do you communicate? Because when this person is approached in a good way and said, by the way, so and so, I've observed this and this and this. Is there something happening in your life?
Yes.
Probably not even somebody who is trained, but even somebody at home,
Yes.
encouraging them at our workplaces and
Yes.
all that. Somebody may open up and say, I'm being beaten by my spouse.
Yes.
My child is rebellious in school, has dropped out of school, and those kind of things. And I would say this. Sometimes we find ladies talking more about their issues
Yes.
with friends.
Yes.
And men, naturally, they are like, it's hard for them to seek help, because we are like, nitameza, I'll swallow my pain. I'll swallow my pain. And we are saying, when we observe this, let us encourage them to share from a family level, from the workplace, or from our social settings. Then we can refer them for counseling. We know very well we can't force somebody to go for counseling,
Yes.
but we can encourage them to go for counseling,
Yes.
but allow them to share. When we realize that the hobbies that they've been doing, they are no longer enjoying them, they
Yes.
don't want to go and interact with friends, then we know that there is something that needs to be addressed.
Yes.
As much as we will not force them, encourage them. And then the last part that I would like us to mention is, where is it done? Counseling is a profession with its own ethics.
Yes.
It is a process that you work with the client. You work in their issues, you work together with them in their journeys, and it's done in an appropriate environment. It is done in a room, in a quiet room, in a place where it is safe for both of you, for the both of the counselor and the counselee.
Yes.
It is also done by a professional, a trained professional, a professional who knows that they know their limits and they know
The
that they are
boundaries.
not going to injure this person. Because one of the major principles in counseling is to do good to the client, to be beneficence. That's what we call it. To only do the good thing to this person and not to injure them. So when you are looking for a counselor around you or where you are, somebody like me, you get to know what are their credentials. It's very important, so that you know you are going to land
Yes.
onto somebody's heart,
Yes.
somebody who is trained on that. And how long does a counseling session take? A counseling session ordinarily is 45 minutes to 1 hour. And somebody may be asking the counselor, Jane, will I have gotten all what is on my chest out those 45 minutes? I said it is a process. It is a process. You can organize with your counselor how often, preferably once a week, if it's not a crisis that you're dealing with, so that they will work with you, they will give you homework, they will allow you to do assignments even as you walk along. So it is not a one-day thing that you go and pour and pour and pour. There is a way that you'll work together.
Yes.
So one thing that I would encourage all of us watching us today, help is available.
Yes.
Help is available, and is available with counselors that are around you. I may be talking to people who are not in Kenya, people who are all over the world.
Yes.
You have counseling available. You have therapists where you are. You just need to walk out there.
Yes.
I've talked about what you need to observe, that when
Yes.
you catch yourself experiencing that withdrawal, you're experiencing sleepless nights, change of appetite, and those kind of things, and anger that sometimes is not explained. Sometimes you're finding that you are crying out of things that never used to hurt you or to make you cry, or change, like the way had said earlier. You see somebody, you cross the road because you don't want to meet with them, and you get
Yes.
so angry. You
Yes.
get so angry you can even bite your tongue because
Yes.
of anger.
Yes.
So you realize that you need help. Help is available.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow. What an elaborate explanation of what counseling is, what to do, how to go about it, where to get it, and what it entails. So, my viewers, I hope you have heard. I hope you have heard that, and I'll just be posing a few questions to our counselor, and I hope you'll be able to drop your comments in the comment section. Ask your questions, ask your concerns, because at the tail end of this interview, we shall be able to share her contact information so that you can reach out to her personally and seek the help that is readily available for you. So we'll allow her to complete this session with a few other pointers before I pose a few questions to her.
Thank you, Jane. I forgot a very important point. Who seeks counseling? The person who seeks counseling is somebody who loves themselves. It is part of self-care. My viewer, wherever you are, just hold yourself like this. Just hold yourself like this. Love yourself. Tell yourself, I love myself. Self-love. I love myself. When you love yourself and you have something that is on your chest, disturbing you, on your mind, you go for help. And when you go for help, you are actually communicating to yourself first and to others that you love yourself. Why? Because you're going to improve on your performance, your output, results, productivity is going to improve because you are healthy. And that way, you'll also be able to help other people and share with them that I actually went for help because I love myself.
Yes.
When we start like that,
Yes.
there are so many, in some faith, we say, love your neighbor as you love yourself. So it is about loving yourself first and loving a neighbor. So
Yes.
when you get help, also share with somebody else that somebody there is help and I got help and I'm able to perform better. I'm able to do my homework or my schoolwork or my job or my family better.
Yes.
And I know that when you share like that, you are also now encouraging other people to also love themselves.
Yes.
It is about self-care, self-love.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Jane, you've just brought out the aspect that I really talk to our viewers about, that self-love and self-care is extremely important, that you cannot give out what you don't have. It starts with you. It starts with you, self-love, because even the word of God tells us, love your neighbor as you love yourself. So you cannot give the love that you don't have. You cannot give the love that you don't have. So, my viewers, self love is important. It's a daily habit. Self care is something that you also need to embrace, that you need to embrace self care as part and parcel of your daily life. So, in line with what Jane has talked to us about, I would like to pose a few questions and ask, what do you advise the people who are introverted, like they are not quite expressive, and so you find that they die silently? They are, yes, you see them out there, but then they are just quiet and silent about the issues that they are facing, and at the end of it all, you get to hear bad news because of an issue they were going through, and eventually they succumb to it. So how do they seek help? The introverted people, how do they seek help so that they too are not left out? Because we are all of different personalities. We are not the same. So we have people who stay isolated. Yet, as I've said in my previous videos on wellness, that we are human beings are social animals, and social animals need one another. We are meant to socialize, to interact, to bond. So how do these people get help?
Thank you, Jane. You're touching a raw nerve on me because I'm personally an introvert. I am an introvert. And in my childhood, as I was growing up, I went through a lot of issues. When I was in class 3 or grade 3, because I'm talking to the world,
Yes.
my mom got sick, and she was very, very sick. She was admitted in a big national hospital, way far from where I am born. And we were moved with my sister. She went with my sister, my elder sister, who took her to hospital. And then she went with my youngest sister. They were staying together in her home.
Yes.
So my mom is admitted in hospital, and my sister is staying with my last born sister is staying with my firstborn eldest sister.
Yes.
So my sister and myself and the sister behind me, right behind me,
Yes.
we were taken to another home,
Yes.
my mom's friend's home.
Yes.
So that is where we stayed for 3 months when my mom was away. So I used to really get anxious.
Yes.
I used to really wonder, when will my mom come back?
Yes.
Because this is a home that we were not used to. This is a place that the way of doing things is different from the way we know.
Yes.
We are like we are being woken up in the morning, and as we love to sleep. I love to sleep. And we are woken up very early. We are taken to the shamba or to the farm, and we are given a piece of work to do.
Yes.
And we are small. And then I was like, this is not my life. And at
Yes.
this time, I'm still looking. I'm mother sick, if I may call it that way. I'm mother sick. I'm looking for that love,
Motherly
that
love.
I'm looking for it. Then she came back home, and then we went back to our home. Then when I was in class 5, she got sick again, and she was taken now to to the same hospital. She was
Yes.
admitted to the same hospital.
Yes.
But this time around, we were not moved from our home.
Yes.
I was now left with my two sisters to
Mm-hmm.
take care of them.
Mm-hmm.
More like a firstborn. I'm not the firstborn, but the others were not at home.
Mm-hmm.
The elder ones were not at home.
Mm-hmm.
So what I used to do is I used to do all, I'm going to school, I'm coming and taking, preparing meals in the evening. I learned how to cook something called ugali. And I would, to test that whether it is ready, I would take a piece and throw it on the wall of the house. If it falls, I know it's ready. If it is
Funny.
it's stuck on the wall, then it's not ready. Because I had not been trained. I didn't know how to cook. I would cook. I'll go fetch firewood. I'll go fetch water. I come and clean the house and do all those things after school. So what I used to do, and that is the time I realized that I had a mental health issue, but I didn't know that time, is that in the evening before dark, I would go outside our door, our house. I sit at the door frame,
Yes.
and I'm now like really looking for my mom. I don't want to go to the house because
Yes.
I'll be so lonely in the
Yes,
house as
yes.
much as my two sisters are there.
Yes.
My mom is away.
Yes.
So that kind of a separation,
Yes.
I couldn't handle it. So I was all the time, so I was forced by darkness to go back to the house. I would go back to the house and then cry on my bed,
Yes.
cry, and then I sleep. Then the following morning, the routine goes, and then I go on and on and on. So when I did counseling, now I was grown up, I'm married, and all that. And one thing that I would like to say here, one of the things I learned that time, when I was outside, I would sit at the door frame, and I'm looking for my mom. An imaginary mom, wherever she is,
Yes.
that time. I thank God she's alive today.
Yes.
She's 92 years old.
Yes.
I would go to the bedroom and go under the bed to check whether she's there.
Sorry.
Think of that. Think of
Oh
that.
my God, that was trauma.
Think of that.
That was a bit of trauma.
Yes. So I would go under the bed, check for my mom. All this, I was looking for my mom, and somebody would. That's what I talked about. Change of behavior. I
Yes.
wasn't behaving like that before.
That's not
So
normal.
when my mom came, she realized that I am doing something that I was not doing before.
Yes.
I would go under the bed and I'm still looking for her, yet she is here. But in my
God.
mind, I'm still like, I'm still stuck.
Wow.
I'm still stuck that my mom is away.
Yes.
I'm still looking for her.
Yes.
I would go under the bed. And they should ask me, Jane, what are you looking for under the bed?
Wow.
And I would tell her,
Um,
I'm looking. It's like I'm this child,
wow.
and I'm a teenager, and I'm looking for my mom. My mom has come back,
Yes.
but I didn't know it was
Wow.
anxiety I was
Wow.
going through.
Wow.
Separation anxiety,
Yes.
an anxiety that I had.
Yes.
So what I'm saying is, when I now started, I was an adult. I even got married. I started even looking under the bed, even in my home.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, I'm saying this is an issue that I'm sharing here because I
Wow.
know I went through it.
Yes.
Jane asked me, what about the introverts? I
Yes.
said I'm an introverted person.
Yes.
So when I got awareness that some of those things need to be taken for therapy. I went to a counselor. I didn't know what to say, but the counselor knew what to do with me.
Wow.
We went for sessions after sessions after sessions. I dealt with my many childhood issues
Yes.
and pain.
Yes.
And that way, I was also able to say, after I have learned that there is a place I can get help,
Yes.
I would also want to help other people.
Amazing.
So introvert out there,
Wow.
there is hope for you.
Wow.
It is possible for you to go. Even if you just feel you want to empty what is in your heart, you want to vent. I make fun with my sister. I have a sister, the one behind me. We are very good friends. We usually say, like we are kind of talking something like not really good English, but we say we want to remove what is in the chest.
Yes.
And we can take a whole hour on phone.
Yes.
We want to remove, okay, I'm using wrong words, remove, but we want to get
Yes.
whatever is hurting us
The
here.
toxicity, yeah.
We want to get it out. We don't want to sleep with it. We want to get it out. So introverts, there's hope. Extroverts, there's, I know you can express yourself.
Yes.
But I used even to be called like a fool because of my name, my middle name. But now my sister used to fight for me, the one behind me, because I used to be so quiet because I'm an introvert. And that's why I said Jane has touched a raw nerve. She doesn't know this.
Wow.
She touched a raw nerve. So introverts, don't worry. Seek help. When you go through what we have talked about, seek help. There is help. The counselor will know how to go about it.
Thank you, Jane. How did you get to the level of going to the counselor? That's what I want to understand, because this is still something that is yet to embrace by many people who are suffering silently. How did you get to take yourself to the counselor? How did it happen? How did it start?
Okay. My first experience with counseling was that I was in a training. There were some nurses who are being trained
Yes.
on counseling,
Yes.
how to handle patients. So I was invited because of my other work that I was doing then.
Yes, yes.
That required that I also be there so that I can also, share with the nurses what to do in an area that I was handling that time. So when I was seated in the room and they're being told about counseling,
Yes.
and who can seek counseling,
Yes.
and how it is sought,
Yes.
and the need for counseling, I caught myself.
Wow.
I said, that is me.
Wow.
That is me. I need that help.
Wow.
So immediately after that that session, I told the people who are facilitating, I want to do that counseling.
Wow. Amazing.
I did a certificate. And then when I was doing the certificate,
Yes.
now we would do what we call personal development.
Yes.
Self-awareness.
Yes.
I realized that I had a lot that I had packed in myself. So there was an opportunity to go for counseling. And I offered myself to go for counseling.
Amazing. Amazing. Viewers, have you heard that? Have you heard that? That there's a way early life experiences can shape your behavior in your adult life, and so it's very much important for it to be addressed at that level. If not, then other issues crop up and you see people behaving in a strange manner, which can be attributed to their early life experiences. So help is available for you, and you have been advised to pay attention to your neighbor. Your neighbor is not just in the family setup, your colleague, your friend. Pay attention that if people are withdrawn in behavior, if they are no longer the same, they are exhibiting a behavior that is out of the ordinary, reach out and ask. And especially for them that are introverts, they don't really speak out. You need to take note of those, even the body language. So I'm very, very glad that to know that help is indeed available, and these issues affect you and I. None of us is isolated from these social issues. We are all in this life, trying to make it better every new day that comes. So I encourage you to stay tuned to this channel. We shall continue to bring you more content on wellness. Today, we have you have received information that it's important for you to receive therapy. It's important for you to receive therapy because at the end of it all, your health is your wealth, and you need your health to be productive, to be a productive member of your family, of your community, and of your nation and the world at large. So I'll request Jen, I don't know if she's ready to share with our viewers her contact information, so that should you feel like you are in that situation that she described, or any other situation, it could be an issue of she's a trained counseling psychologist, and she handles a myriad of issues, because we have different issues. It could be marriage related, it could be child related, it could be bereavement, grief, all manner of things. She'll be readily available to assist you and talk to you. So Jen, please share with our viewers, then we can call this
Thank you, Jane. Uh, and thank you, our viewers, for watching, and continue watching this channel. And if you'd like to get in touch with me, kindly text me on +254 114 404 200. +254 114 404 200. I'll get back to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jen. That is our counseling psychologist. And it's just interesting that she's Jen and I'm Jen. And I'm not an introvert. I really enjoyed this interview. Thank you so much, my viewers. We are here to support you. Call on us, and we are ready to serve you and meet you at your very personal point of need. So remember to subscribe, Jane's Hair Care Solutions. We are here for you. Until next time, be sure to watch this, like and share, and drop your comments in the comment section. Until next time, cheers.
Hey, hey.
So we need to end this thing.